Welcome to the Superhero Sanctum.
An offshoot of the PCVG in which Tetris
and Waha try to pitch each other superheroes.
Each episode will be at least 10 minutes long.
But each superpower may last several episodes.
So stay tuned and enjoy. And we are back. So, who would be who would be their villain? And I have an idea for this, but I want to hear.
Shouldn't we just establish who the first, partner is?
I suppose. Why don't we go with, what if they're brothers?
Oh, yeah, so they're about the same age. They have that bond. And, the other one apparently got the shit into the stick DNA-wise.
Yeah, he doesn't get the superpower, but that's why he bullies around his younger brother.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We probably want to change that because this is starting to seem a little bit like an anime I watched. Boogie Pop Phantom. They did the same kind of story. So we're going to want to change the brother part out. Or we could not, because, we came up with this without that. But definitely a little brother giving his older brother superpowers and the older brother not being aware that he's not superpowered because, the younger brother's fulfilling his wish to have superpowers.
Oh, God.
Yep.
I'm already not able to follow it.
Pretty much. But we'll go with
It
school.
sounds exactly like an anime.
Or even better, this guy's his bully in school. And, the kid's like, please, no, stop. And then, I don't know. There's got to be...
No, that
doesn't work out.
First, villain.
First thing
some random bully. And then there's some kid who, stands up to him for him, as occasionally happens. And then
he gives him superpowers. But then
and destroys the, little bully.
Yeah,
literally
kills
him in half.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then at that point, it's then, they become partners. And little does the kid giving the other kid powers know, the other kid's a fucking bastard. A terrible human being.
Hold on. I guess we just wrote the, getting ripped into half thing sort of, didn't happen in front of the school. Sorry, I was playing out that scenario where he was ripped in half, and it was
on the schoolyard.
On the schoolyard, people were watching. So this kid gets literally ripped in half, and all the kids were like, that can happen?
Yeah, right? This is a shock of dawning realization where they realize a kid can rip another kid in half. How about this? Does he transform? The kid who gets superpowers, does he bulk out? He's usually a scrawny person, and then once the other kid concentrates on him, he bulks out and spandex pops out?
No. It's gonna be completely, surprising. He looks exactly the same. He's just, going in for a grab or something like that, and, reaches into his chest.
And then he starts screaming, and the other kid starts screaming. And they tears him limb from limb.
This is a situation for anybody. This is the start of a very grim, dark sort of character.
So it would be because of that event, he likes the kid who's giving him powers, but he also hates him for making him this murderer.
Exactly, right from the get-go. And, there's, a big deal about it because a kid killed another kid. Well, that's why we have to decide here. Or they found out right from the get-go. No, there'd be no reason to even think that anyone but the kid who did the ripping in half and whatnot is the guy with the powers. The kid giving powers is still, completely...
Oh yeah, he'd be scot-free. He was just watching. Or whatever. He was getting beat up, and then this other kid comes to help him, and then he rips this kid in half. That's how the story looks like. And I guess maybe the other kid goes to jail for a while and he gets out, maybe?
No, it'd be juvenile maybe, but probably more along the lines of rehab and therapy, because I'm sure that kid didn't really want to kill the other kid. Probably not. I
No, he
mean,
went to like shove him back off of the kid, and instead his hands went through the kid's chest. And it's like, oh, no idea I had that much. Yeah, exactly. So, supervillain. Do you have any ideas? Because I have a pretty good one.
I like the mafia idea. At some point, everything's found out, and some criminal organization captures this guy, or the kid, or guy at this point, depending on how long this hero's timeline goes on. And yeah, they threaten him with bodily harm or family or anything to give certain people superpowers so they can do crazy things. So it would be like it would be like, yeah,
It's like the mouse.
They put. Kind of. They put the kid in like a van or a truck or some armored vehicle. And a bank heist pretty much consists of one guy in a mask running into the bank, ripping off the safe door, and I don't know. You could probably just carry the whole safe or bank away.
Pretty much. Well, they could pull. I like the idea, except I would write the bank heist. They pull into the alley. The guy breaks through the wall and all the steel surrounding the safe and robs it from the back.
Oh yeah, and God, especially during that time, that could be when his powers develop more. There's people willing to exploit it for evil deeds, so why not say, all right, now how about you focus? Make him be able to shoot lasers from his eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Like it will change as time goes on. That's the beauty of it. And actually, one of the ones I think would be a good villain would be somebody who has like psychic powers. Anybody who basically operates on the same broadband or frequency that this kid is mentally tuned into, but doesn't have the same, like, I can't give this person superpowers, but I can tell there's like a almost a physical link I can see with my ESP to see that you're doing this. And he exploits it. He's able to kind of to siphon powers off the kid using his ESP powers. He basically gets the kid to give him powers without the kid being cognitive of it. So like the kid's asleep and he makes him have dreams where he gives him the powers.
Yeah, so like like some kind of leech or something like that.
Yeah, but this would just basically be somebody who just happens to be able to read minds or something.
Yeah,
but like he
that
would
could
be a
be good.
criminal anyways. Like he would be somebody who was like he would play Texas Hold'em because he knew he couldn't lose, and he would steal valuable information from people by just making them think about it.
Steal people's can he control people? Because then he could just make them empty their bank accounts and hand it, or and like dead drop it.
I would say he can't control people. He can influence people, but I wouldn't say control. Like I wouldn't say he's as powerful as Charles Xavier. He can just kind of make a left turn instead of a right turn, sort of a thing, where they think they're making their own decisions. He can incept people, basically. And the easiest way to get information is to be like, hey, don't think about this, or don't tell me about this, and then they start thinking about the thing that they're not supposed to tell him, and then he gets the information.
It's like, man, don't you hate when you forget your PIN number? He's like, yeah, I sure do.
And then they think about their PIN number.
I'm sure glad it's like 562582.
Exactly. Like, it would be stuff like that, where like 90% of the time he wouldn't have to do anything, but then every once in a while he could influence people, like, just subtly. And if they're unconscious, he can influence them more. And so, like, it would basically be like an inception power.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Now, it would be interesting because at some point, the superpowered kid would be fighting him, and basically it would be even because he would have, at that point, gained half a footing into the superpowered giving kid, locked in Lead Lad.
Damn. This will be a pretty good character, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it really does affect him growing up. I'm saying we should probably do that earlier.
I think that should be their backstory. Like, we could even start off with that. Like, we could start off one of the casts that we end up doing with, that part of their past, and then we can watch them grow up into the superheroes that join the city. And that can be like comic 2 or 3, but the comic we introduce them as.
So when would the kid even realize he has the power?
I probably right then when he gives the kid the superpower. Like the kid that got the superpower would have no idea where it came from. He just thinks it came out of him originally. But the other kid would like immediately, instinctively know that he gave it to him.
Yeah.
It'd be like flexing a muscle. You'd know you're flexing that muscle.
Oh man, that kid would be so obsessed with him. Do you think he'd be a villain? Like, some crazy guy obsessed with revenge is like, you ruined my life and caused me to, literally tear some other kid a new one.
You know,
Or
he
would
basically
like,
would be a villain. Like he would be a superhero only as far as he knows that kid would absolutely leave him and not give him any powers if he did. And he uses that whole "you made me kill this person" to make that other guy, the locked in Lead Lad, feel guilty and force him into doing stuff. You know, like people manipulate each other. But I think in the end, what would happen is, locked in Lead Lad would eventually get sick and tired of it and leave him, right? And so the superhero guy would then turn into a villain.
Yeah, and it could probably be how people find out that who Locked in Lead Lad really is.
Oh yeah, no, he lets the information out and whatever. What would be the superhero kid, guy's name? Or what would, you'd see them together, but it wouldn't exactly be like he would point out and be like, "Locked in Lead Lad, my sidekick." It would just, eventually you would notice that this kid's there every time the super is on the scene. But what would the super's name be?
I don't know if we're going with that kid in jail, or not even jail, but rehab. Yeah, God, it could be anything. Maybe something cheesy though.
Well, and I would think that the name would change depending on who's getting the superpower given to them, because everybody would have their own flair.
Exactly. So one Locked in Lad sidekick could have several heroes to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. And so each hero could have a different hero name. And the reason he ends up it would basically be a relationship. And like the entire thing would be treated, or we would treat it like they're actually intimately in a relationship, because it's not like either one of them are dating other people or anything. The superpower thing kind of consumes their world. And then once they have the superpower taken away, a lot of them turn to villains because they want that power.
Yes, but significantly less awesome villains up against odds that they know are like, ugh. They've felt the power before. They know they probably don't want to go up against it without
Well, and that's why, not all of them do, but some of them do. And some of them get, funded by other villains and stuff.
Oh god, you know what it could be. Locked in Lead Lad probably wouldn't really want to use his power on someone he had usually been doing that to, especially if they were good. So it would end up in a lot of regular fist fights over Locked in Lead Lad not wanting to give either the power.
Oh yeah, it would be something like that. Or his super disappears, and so he chooses a new super, and then his old super reappears, and so he has to make a choice on which one of them he's going to give the power to. And there's a lot of just good story elements we can get out of this.
Oh yeah, especially when he does use it on other supers. Man, we do make some other supers.
All right. Well, I think that's good for Locked in Lead Lad, and that fills out another over 10 minutes. So thanks for tuning in again, guys. Guys! Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for tuning in, and thanks for tuning in, and thanks for